Alright, so we're going to do a create directive, and this is used when you want to actually add a directive into the database. It does not have to be your original directive. It can be one from a book or an article, as long as you add a citation that references that book or article. So in the directive name, let's say this one is going to be called draw a portrait. So I'll put that in there. And here under privacy, you'll see there's private or pending. If it's marked private, that means no one else can see this directive except for you. When they log into the database, this will be in your list, but no one else's list of directives. That can be handy if you're using things that where you want to generate your own set of directives for a specific for your specific program, but you don't want to share them with the world. Okay? Pending is where you put things that you do want to share with everyone else who's using the database. And what happens is I review those and then move them to a different status. It's called public. And once they're in that place, then everyone can see them. Okay? So the next item, art skills level. There's novice, moderate, and expert for the level of skill that the art therapist should have to be using this particular directive that you're adding. Emotional depth level, low, moderate, and medium and high, has to do with the client's or the patient's response to this directive. This directive I'll put on low, which means that this person most likely will not become too deeply involved emotionally with this particular directive. Things that are on the high list may include things like drawing a full body sketch where you trace a person's body, which can be triggering to some individuals. Certain painting directives can also be triggering of emotions or triggering memories. So those, I'm using this as a helpful guide. So use your judgment as a professional, as an art therapist, to help people understand your directive a little better. In the description, you put in what you want this person, what the directive involves. So for instance, in this one, provide a large piece of paper, and so on. For the client, and ask him, her to draw a picture of self. And then you can add more directions. You know, you say use drawing pencils, and you might want to put in, explain something about the motivation that you have for using this. You know, this can help describe a person's inner self, or whatever you want to put in there. The citations, the credits, if you saw this in an article, you can put that article in here. If you saw it in a book, you can put that in here. If it's something that you've kind of modified from something else that you've seen in a book, you can always say that. You can say inspired by directive from authors, you know, from the name of the author, Joe Smith, book, art therapy, and you. Okay, I'm just making this up. So next part of this is a long section of checkboxes where you can select the categories that go with the directive. So think about the directive that you've created, that you're adding, and check anything that it fits with. So under the theme, is it an evidence-based directive that you found in a research project? Is it used as assessment? Is it a bridge type of directive? or something about choices, an icebreaker, something about self-esteem, self-reflection, so that would fit with create a portrait, right? Diagnosis, if your directive is specifically developed for a particular diagnosis, you could do that. You can mark anything that you think it might be applicable for. For example, depression, you might say PTSD might be a good one for this one. Trauma, maybe, or grief. Whatever you're using it for or you think it would be appropriate for, you can add in here. Then under settings, this could be used as in an individual session, in a group session. I could see it possibly in a family session, inpatient, outpatient. This one kind of fits all of them, so you can do that. Otherwise, just choose the ones that you wish. Art materials, we're going to use drawing materials, in particular a pencil, okay? And so then you go down, further down, there's 3 more categories. Demographic, so if it fits any of these specifically, you can add them, or you can just check them all. If you leave it unchecked, if someone's searching for a specific age group, they won't find it, but it will show up in a general search, okay? Counseling style, if it actually fits into one of these. This one doesn't really fit any particular counseling style, so I'll leave it out. And I'll put that it's less than an hour to do. Then you just click on the Create button, and you'll see that it comes up, and I'm immediately placed in the My Favorites list, and it comes up as a personal directive. That's what this symbol here means, and it's called Draw a Portrait. And until it's reviewed by me and put onto the approved list, it will remain personal, and then it moves to a public one, and you'll see this symbol instead, okay? And that's how you do it. If you want to edit your directive, you can click on it from My Favorites, and you'll see the same thing, and you can go ahead and change anything that you wish to change on there, and click the Update button, okay?